Good morning. My name is Daiva Garbaliauskaitė. I'm the Vice Minister at the Ministry of Energy, responsible for the development of renewables in Lithuania. So first of all, I would like to welcome all the participants and partners to SHREC project. I'm so glad to be here today and to have an opportunity to introduce the strategic developments and goals of Lithuania in the sector of energy. Lithuania has witnessed several energy transitions. First, in 2019, with the closure of nuclear power plant in Ignalina, when we became a net importer of electricity from net exporter of electricity before. Later, with the implementation of strategic projects in gas and electricity, ensuring greater integration with European markets. Even though the level of energy security has already increased, we are still at the major challenge in order to implement the synchronization with continental Europe. Lithuania is building one of the largest battery storages in the whole world. 200 megawatt hours storage capacity will also support one of the transition towards a green transformation. And the offshore wind will be a game changer for domestic power generation. So here I would like to put a bigger focus on this topic, ensuring that you understand the main goals of Lithuanian energy sector at the moment. National Energy Independence Strategy sets the main pillar of energy policy in Lithuania, and a clear goal of 100% renewables in electricity and the climate neutrality by 2050s. National energy independence of Lithuania sets main pillars of energy policy and a clear goal of 100% of renewable electricity and becoming a climate neutral country by 2050s. In 2020, we already constituted a significant amount, more than a quarter of renewables in final consumption. We were the first state to sell the surplus of renewable statistics, and received funds are directed to further development of renewables technologies. Renewables in electricity will make 50% and transport 15% and heating at least 90% by 2030s. And Lithuania has started preparatory works not only onshore but also offshore. So let us see how it is going. Taking into account the MEMIP study in 2019, which showed the potential of renewables in the Baltic Sea, the studies have started. And last year, the offshore wind capacity and territory for the upcoming offshore wind park in the Baltic Sea were approved. Now the financing and preparatory work is being adjusted with the European Commission. Draft laws laying down the possibilities of Lithuania of offshore wind park are now being discussed in the parliament, and actually this particular week we start these discussions with the parliament, and basically these draft laws will ensure that Lithuania can start the development of offshore wind park in 2023 by starting the first auction in the history of Lithuania, which will be based on CFD model, on CFD meaning the contract for difference. So until 2023 we will finish all the preparatory work. which means we need to do a lot of studies and investigations, including environmental impact assessment, wind speed studies, seabed surveys, and so on. I will not continue in detail, but that is all done in order to have an auction, a tender, an open, based on transparency, which could take part already in the autumn of 2023. And we have a developer who I assume should start the work on 2025, and I believe that we all have a possibility to see the windmills generating green electricity in the Baltic Sea in 2028. Lithuania has decided to work on this project already 3 years ago, and we decided to develop a 700 megawatt offshore wind project and selected a specific territory for it. This is the territory of 137 square meters. This territory is, to be said, is rather well investigated at the distance of 30-40 kilometers to shore. The depth of the water is there around 30-40 meters, and the wind speed around, with what is important for windmills, is 9 to 10 meters per second. To be fair, according to European Commission study, Baltic Sea is actually considered the second best in all European Union in order to develop offshore wind parks. So I think we are pretty lucky. The first one is North Sea, but the Baltic Sea is considered also a very good place to develop these offshore wind parks, because it is quite shallow and the wind speeds are quite good for the development of these parks. So this first park will produce from 2.5 to 3 terawatt hours of electricity annually. So this is about 25% of all Lithuania's demand. But this is not enough to ensure the green transition in Lithuania and region and the whole Europe. Therefore, Lithuania is exploiting possibilities to use the whole sea potential. This is for now being detected as 3.35 gigawatts in the Baltic Sea territory of Lithuania. And therefore, we consider cross-border cooperation, bilateral, regional, and other forms in order to develop offshore wind parks, not only by ourselves, but also with our neighbors. Having said that, the green hydrogen comes to the sea. In the future, the offshore wind electricity production will be used for electrolysis. We see it as a groundbreaking technology that will also be crucial for balancing of renewables. The more renewables we have onshore and offshore, the more we have to take care of balancing our grid and ensuring that when the wind is not blowing, when the sun is not shining, that the grid is always stable. So at the moment, we are working on a favorable environment for green hydrogen in Lithuania, and also on the strategy of this new measure in our energy sector. Also, we are pooling necessary financing resources, and we will ensure that at least 300 million of euros will be used for the development of green hydrogen to introduce this in Lithuanian energy sector. So these are the main things that I would like to share with you regarding renewables development in Lithuania. So thank you very much for your attention, and have pleasant discussions today.